Good morning, cryptocurrency questions, answers, and news. And we've got the cryptocurrency market moment for you this morning. So we thought we would take a moment to do an introduction to those who are new to the group, and specifically talking about what is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, what is an exchange, why do I need one, what is a wallet, and why might I need one. We'll also touch on the effects of a single tweet and the clarification that China had around the ownership and risk of crypto. So good morning, Curtis. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Doing well, doing well. It's 10 a.m. here on the East Coast, and it's a Friday, so feeling good about it.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, the same here. And so let's talk a little bit about, we know we've got some new people that are coming into the space, and a little bit about what is Bitcoin and what is cryptocurrency. So how would you explain it for the newcomers?
Yeah, and thanks, Jeff. So often I get a lot of instant messages, and you and I and other people in the group, we talk to each other, and some of the messages that I've been getting recently are, "Hey, I'm feeling a little lost. You guys are talking about staking and all these things that are, um, a little over my head." And I understand and appreciate that because I was there at one point too, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to do a little segment on the real kind of basics. And yeah, so Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. That's what the white paper says. And of course, a white paper is in the crypto world is just kind of a explanation and a business plan about what the asset is about. And cryptocurrency in general was started with Bitcoin, and it has an anonymous creator that goes by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto that nobody has figured out who it is. And recently we've done some posting on the site about Satoshi. But yeah, so cryptocurrency, the idea is you don't need a bank. You have custody of your own assets unless they're in an exchange, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, so no need to have a bank. If I want to send money to Jeff or cryptocurrency, I can do it with a click of a button, and it'll settle much faster than any type of bank transaction. It's a wonderful thing. And on top of that, there is utility. So what I mean by that is it's not just money. There are other things that can be done with it. It's programmable money, and we'll talk more about that too. So,
Absolutely.
Jeff, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think that's a very good introduction. And two resources that came to mind were the Binance Academy, which is a tremendous resource for pretty much all things crypto.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, as Curtis talked, is the white paper. The white paper is actually fairly simply written. It's only about 9 pages long. And if you have a challenge reading, remember that we can use Google and ask Google or Siri to read aloud to us.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And some other good resources, like you said, that you mentioned Binance. So of course everybody asks, where do I start? So the educational resources are great, and a lot of those educational resources will come from exchanges like Binance. I know Coinbase has some great earn to learn stuff, and that's how you get into cryptocurrency. Is you can do peer-to-peer transfer. If I wanted to buy crypto straight from Jeff, I can do that. But I would caution people in the beginning to do direct buys from individuals, because cryptocurrency is new and there's a lot of people that just want to take your money. So I would recommend starting off with one of the known and trusted cryptocurrency exchanges. In the United States, I'm going to say that's going to be the easy ones to get into that are going to be educational and not too confusing are going to be Coinbase and Voyager. And I think I'm not as familiar with crypto.com, but Jeff, I'm sure, can tell you if that's one for beginners also. But I know there's a lot of benefits for that exchange too.
Yeah, crypto.com's got a very simple market trading interface. Um, so yeah, crypto.com is also another good resource. And for any of our Canadian viewers, there's a few exchanges that people talk about. There's one called ShakePay, which has only Bitcoin and Ethereum that you can purchase, and you can move it off into your wallet so you actually own it. There's a number of others, Newton, NDAX, Catalyx. So there's a lot of good exchanges in Canada. And keeping it simple is the name of the game, because we don't want to be overwhelmed with a bunch of stuff for trading when we just want to buy some coin and hold it.
Yeah, and to add to that, so we've identified a couple of exchanges that we would recommend for beginners, and there's two ways to do that, right? So Coinbase has an application. They also have a website browser, and Voyager the same thing. I imagine Crypto.com's the same. And what you do is it's a lot like opening up a bank account. You go and you install the application, you fill out the form. It is going to ask for a lot of information. This is not unusual. I was speaking to somebody the other day and they were like, hey, I logged into Coinbase and it wanted my social security number. Is this safe? It's safe. Coinbase is a publicly traded company. They are compliant with the crypto laws in the United States and securities laws. So is Voyager. I imagine crypto.com is compliant in Canada. So these are trusted exchanges, and it does ask for a lot of information, but it's just like opening up a bank account, and it's because the tax man wants to know what you're doing too, right?
Yeah, exactly. And in the crypto world, we call it know your customer, or KYC would be the way that it would be explained. So we just have to agree that we're going to hopefully make money in cryptocurrency, but we could lose money, and we'll want to be able to claim those losses on our income tax. So we'll definitely want to make certain that we are tracking and reporting any gains or losses on crypto.
Absolutely. And so, Jeff, we went over exchanges. Do you want to kind of cover the difference between an exchange and a wallet? I know that you're really big into a couple of wallets.
Yeah. So, the thing about when you have an exchange, the exchange gives you a wallet. So it gives you a IOU, like your bank account, that says, here's a place where you can keep your money, and we'll take good care of it. You don't own that cryptocurrency until you move it out of the exchange. Now, the thing that comes to, if you're going to move it out of the exchange, what do you do with it? So this is where the creation of wallets came in. Now, wallets can be a little bit intimidating and challenging because there's a lot of things that you need to know about a wallet. The basic is there's two parts to the wallet. There's a public key and a private key, and together they identify you on the blockchain. So everything about your trading and everything about your holding is stored in the blockchain, and most blockchains are public. So like Ethereum and Bitcoin, all the transactions are publicly accessible. So there's different types of wallets. We have what we call hot wallets, which are software based. So you can have a wallet on your phone. You might use something like the Trust Wallet, or you might use EtherMask. There's a myriad of wallets, and be very careful about the wallet you're choosing, because there are a lot of bad actor applications out there that just want to steal your crypto.
Yeah, and that's a good point. So we mentioned some trusted exchanges. I think this is a good time to mention some trusted wallets. So Yeah, my favorites are MetaMask, of course, which is a browser-based wallet. You can add it as a Google Chrome extension if you'd like. Trust Wallet's a good one. And Coinbase, aside from their exchange, they have their own custodial wallet, right? Just Coinbase Wallet. And Exodus is a good one. So those are all ones that I've used and trust and haven't had any issues with. But yeah, and the idea is that when you move them off the exchanges into your wallet, yeah, you have custody of the assets at that point in time. They're not sitting in an exchange somewhere, and you don't have ownership. So
Yeah. So that's one of the sayings that you hear is not your keys, not your crypto. So it comes back to that public and private key. Now, here's the thing. If you're setting up a private wallet so that you're the custodian of the wallet, you want to take real caution and care when you're setting it up. Because when you're creating the wallet, it's going to give you a list of words to write down. That's called the seed phrase. Now, that seed phrase will allow you to recover those public and private keys that represent that wallet on any wallet software. So whether it's a hardware or software wallet, there's two hardware wallets that I like to use. We call those cold storage, and Trezor and Ledger are the names of those products. And there's pros and cons to both. And yes, they've both been hacked or compromised at some point in time through email or through their web interface, or fake apps being put onto app stores on iOS. So you'll hear all kinds of bad stuff. But the wallets are to protect your keys. There's nothing actually stored on your wallet.
yeah,
It's
and actually,
just those keys. That's what's
yeah.
stored.
So that I like what you're saying, because it brings me back to the stories about how, and you'll hear these every once in a while, and I think that they're totally made up because they don't make sense, where some guy, loses his laptop in a landfill somewhere, and the Bitcoin is on the device and he's trying to find it in the landfill. Those types of stories, it doesn't matter where that laptop is that they had the Bitcoin on, or that they were transacting from. It's all about those public keys. You can access your wallet, the exchange that you're on, anywhere in the world, as long as you have an internet connection and you've got the right information. And to also add to your information about logging in and people stealing keys and things like that, it's akin to somebody putting a key logging program on your computer and figuring out your username and password to your bank account. Same sort of precautions need to be taken when you're opening up a wallet or an exchange. Treat it like a bank account, protect it like a bank account.
Yeah. And that whole thing is that when you get those seed words, you want to write them down, make multiple copies of them, and store them someplace that where they're safe and secure. So that is really important, and never, ever, ever give your seed phrases to any support representative or anything, because those are the scams. And unfortunately, we hear people who have talked to support, and support helped them set up a recovery wallet, and then all of their money disappears moments later.
Yeah, the exchanges will tell you, we will not reach out to you. A representative from our company will not contact you. So if you have somebody that reaches out and says, hey, I'm with Binance, or hey, I'm with Coinbase, yeah, be very skeptical. Do not send them any money. Do not give them any passphrases. It's all about security. You want to treat it, like I said, the same way that you would treat your bank account. If somebody called you out of the blue from your bank and said, hey, I'm with, BB&T, and we're having an issue with your account. We need your username and password. Are you going to give them your username and password? Same kind of thing. If somebody reaches out to you about your crypto, be very skeptical. It's probably a scam.
Yeah. And if you're really unsure and it sounds really real, reach out to someone who knows a little bit more about crypto and just validate with them, before you do anything. So, this whole thing is an ounce of prevention. This is one of the things that you're going to find when you log into exchanges is there's a whole bunch of security settings. You want to make sure that you use strong, unique passwords. You set up two-factor authentication. There's email phishing phrases. There's login phrases, trading passwords. So there's a whole bunch of things that you can do to protect yourself. And you'll want to make certain that you implement every one of those features to make it difficult for someone else to trade your crypto. Now, there's one particular exchange where it asks for my login password. It asks for my 2FA. It asks for a message from my email provider, and it asks for an SMS code. And I'm just sitting here going, wow, I feel very safe here.
It wants blood. Are we talking about Hotbit?
Oh, this is Gate.io.
Oh, okay. Hotbit's pretty intense too.
Well, I could imagine Hotbit would be extremely intense right now.
Yeah.
Especially after what they've been through. But that's the big thing. Put all of these things and be grateful that they're there and asking for them, because if it takes you 3 minutes to log in, it's going to take a lot more time for someone else to crack your magic code without all of those individual pieces.
Absolutely. Well, what do you think about covering just a couple of minutes for news here at the end?
Yeah, I think that's perfect. I think we've given you enough information to chew on right now. And let's talk about the news. So the effects of a single tweet. What do you think about that? Just one innocent little tweet.
Well, and we had kind of discussed this little in advance, but I wouldn't call it a dump. But yeah, Elon obviously has a lot of influence on the crypto market. And we talked the other day about the large influencers being in cahoots with some of the over-the-counter sellers. And, I think, and this is all in theory, I have no proof, no evidence, but Bitcoin was headed straight to 40,000. It was on its way. Next thing you know, little tweet. We talked about holding the door open. I think this is a hold the door moment. And, without Elon's tweet, we have momentum. So yeah, it just makes sense to me. It was an intervention to 40K. For what reasons? I have no idea. I mean, because it was very vague. It wasn't, hey, I sold my Bitcoin, I'm getting out. There were very cryptic, vague messages meant to spook the market on purpose.
Yeah, there was an insinuation that, hey, I'm ending my relationship with Bitcoin, right? And it was like, oh, what's the point? So, that's the thing. And, it's like a few tweets ago, it's like, I have diamond hands. Don't worry, I'm not selling anything.
Oh, yeah.
But I am going to jerk you around a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think he's got two different crowds to pander to, right? He's got his Tesla investments that obviously affect the price of the Tesla stock, so it can't tank too low. So, hey, looks like we're going to dip below 30. I've got diamond hands, right? And then on the other end, it's we're about to break 40. I don't know if I like Bitcoin anymore. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
No, not at all.
No sense to it whatsoever. It's obvious market manipulation. He knows that he has that power. He knows
he does,
and he's doing it.
Yeah. Now let's go and talk about kind of a good news play on what China's saying about their clarification over the ownership of cryptocurrencies. So what's your thoughts about what Beijing is saying?
Well, I think that, Beijing has their federal digital currency that is is pretty much out there. It's growing. Their distribution. They had some sort of a lottery system. So lots going on there. And of course, China has a lot of very strict rules with their currency, and they're known to be some currency manipulators. So I think their initial knee-jerk reaction was, well, we're going to crack down on Bitcoin mining. We're going to crack down on trading. We're going to do all these things. And they've kind of softened their stance very quickly, and not so much to say that it's illegal, but now they're going, all right, so we're going to allow the trading, but it's bad. Here's all the bad stuff about it, right? They're putting out a lot of negative information on the state-run media about cryptocurrency. So they're not making the trading illegal, but they're going to discourage their population and their citizens from doing it every chance they get. And that's pretty much what I've read this morning about the state-run media. And so who knows if they're really cracking down? Is this just another regurgitation of the whole news cycle that, we're not really sure if it's real information or just a regurgitated story? I mean, it's another one of those things.
Yeah, we'll never know until we see what goes on, and even then, we'll have to question ourselves. So one of the things I was going to say about China is like they actually adopted very early online purchasing, and they have their own social media platform called WeChat that runs on mobile phones, and it's like you can buy houses, you can buy and sell $1 million businesses on with the WeChat Pay. So I think part of it is now what we're seeing Beijing going, okay, we need to get our digital currency in here so that we can have a play in these cryptocurrency exchanges of funds that are going on, so that we can kind of keep an eye on what's happening.
Absolutely. And back to utility with coins, one of the things that kind of frightens me a little bit about these state-backed coins is the ability to collect information through the blockchain. So, we've talked about a lot of different utilities and KYC and things of that nature. I don't know exactly what can be done for tracking and monitoring through blockchain, but we're not talking about cloud storage of your information. We're talking about the potential of blockchain storage, which is pretty much forever as long as electronic devices run. So not really sure where that's going to go. To me, it is a little frightening that it could be used as another data collection device. So I'm really hopeful that our country adopts private currency, and we have our own. That's fine. I get it. Country needs some way to tax and monitor and things of that nature. But I think that if you want budgeting, free markets, and innovation, that you adopt private currency. There's all types of wonderful projects popping up.
Yeah, it was interesting on the talk about Litecoin and Litecoin implementing this Mimblewimble project, which is their currency layer, which means that you can do your transactions and be transparent. But it's, if I'm a merchant selling my goods, I don't want you to be able to grab my address and see how many trades and how much money sitting in my, on my blockchain account. So I want that to be under the auspice of privacy. So I might want to wrap that address as a security address, where the rest of my wallet and the greater transactions are still available for auditing purposes for the states and governments and taxations. Mm-hmm. So I think that it's the ability to choose which transactions I do have to be private and which can be public. I think that'll give us the ability to make certain that we adhere to state, government, province, federal laws in our various countries.
Yeah, and China's quickly becoming a cashless society. I think we're a couple of steps behind in that aspect, but I think how we catch up is we embrace the private currency because
Yep.
Private innovation seems to outpace everything else. So I think with money and programmable assets, I think it's the same sort of thing. I mean, we're moving into the internet of value, and things move much faster than government bureaucracy. So if
Yes.
you want innovation and you want new inventions and you want new systems, um, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, you know,
Yeah.
there's a million of them, and there should
Yeah,
always be.
yeah, and which is exciting, and that there is a blockchain for every application. We've gone a little bit over. We've probably spent about 10 minutes more than we normally
Yep.
do this morning, and this is because we wanted to take today to do an education to introduce our newcomers to some of
Mhm.
the phrases and terminology, as well as cover the market moment and tweets by Elon Musk, keeping the door open.
Yeah.
So,
And
Hodo,
I think that
Hodo.
we should definitely do kind of one of these for the new people. And so I definitely heard you.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're listening and we're responding. So go ahead and drop your comments below, and share this out and invite your friends to the group, because we're looking for good people like you to be part of cryptocurrency questions, answers, and news. And we build a bigger, stronger community. So thank you. Thank you, Curtis. It's been a pleasure
Thank,
speaking this morning.
thank you, Jeff. Have a good day,
All right.
sir.
Yeah. And thanks to our viewers. Bye for now.